Thank you again for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And the NC fam appreciates it a lot.
Oh, it's all good, gotta do it for my Niger people, keep it in there, Nigerian to the fullest.
I feel that. So I definitely have a million questions for you today. So
All right,
I
it's
hope
cool, yeah.
you're ready. Okay, I don't really have a million. I'm kidding. Um, but so let's hop in. So we've seen your content everywhere, and like your work is very relatable and inspiring. First,
Yeah.
can you give us an introduction so our audience knows exactly who you are?
Okay, my name is Obi Arisukwu, since it's Nigerian, I gotta give the full name. Obi Arisukwu. I'm an artist, illustrator slash writer. Now become writer because of the projects I'm working on and things like that. That's pretty much what I'm known for, drawing and mainly drawing and then now writing as well.
Okay, so we know who you are currently, but who was Obi years ago? And like what
Um,
inspired you to get into illustration and designing cartoons mainly?
so years ago, Obi was a graphic designer, graduated with a visual arts degree, worked in corporate America, did freelance and worked in corporate America, designing everything from flyers, brochures, websites, logos, and especially in the corporate America space, doing presentations, everything from PowerPoints to, what is it, annual reports, things like that. And I just really got tired of it. I thought I wanted something more stable, something where I knew where my paycheck was coming in every week. And it
Mhm.
just like this wasn't for me. I wanted something a little more chaotic. But now this something more freedom. I wanted to like follow my dreams. I've always loved being an artist, and working in corporate America really made me realize that was my love and something that I didn't want to regret not pursuing. So I ended up quitting my job in order to follow my dreams of being an artist.
And how was that like after you quit? Like, did you feel like like once you quit, were you like, all right, I know this is like certain, like this is for me. I'm gonna like, follow my dreams, or were you kind of nervous?
I wasn't nervous, but it was hell. That's for damn sure. Um, because you're whenever you quit to pursue um, something else that's non-traditional in a sense. First of all, you're never ready. No matter what happens, you're just never ready. And it was one of those things that it took some time before one, I got used to this new lifestyle of mine, quitting my job, being broke, living with my parents, things like that, and then also just not seeing the what is it? Is it called the forest through the trees or the mountain? Whatever that metaphor, that phrase is. Just not seeing the other side of what's
Mhm.
going to happen, and you just kind of just fighting through it until you actually see like that sunlight that you're aiming for.
That definitely makes sense. So, is there a specific illustration or art piece that changed the trajectory of your life? And then, if so, what piece was it?
Yeah, there's actually two.
Okay.
One is the first comic strip I created. That summer when I quit my job, it wasn't until the end of the year when I really started making the comic strips. And that first comic strip I created was something that made me realize, like, yo, this is actually pretty cool. People actually enjoy this. I need to start doing this a lot more. And I started doing these comic strips weekly. And so that started gaining traction. And those comic strips led to my current situation where I have this cartoon in development at HBO Max. And then also the This Is America art I created when Childish Gambino dropped the This Is America video back in 2018. I ended up creating a illustration, um, I would say inspired by it. And that was my very first viral piece of artwork ever. I think before then, the most I ever gotten in total for like a comic strip or a piece of art, maybe it was like 2,100 to 2,200 likes on it. And that was in total. Well, as soon as I dropped that This Is America piece, I got 30,000 likes in 24 hours. And I had never seen anything like that. It was, and I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep for like 48 hours. It was
But
insane.
no, I love that
Um,
you kept going because I feel like now with social media, if it doesn't get a certain amount of likes, you're like, I'm deleting, like not interested. So I love that you kept going regardless. It's like it definitely paid off. So the next question that I have for you is if you could go back in time, would you change anything about your life, professionally, personally, and like what is it?
I don't think I would, because I look at everything like there's a lesson to be learned. Like everything, there's like a silver lining, right? Certain choices I've made have got me to where I'm at right now. For instance, I remember like you know, the Bitcoin boom. This was back in 2018 where people were making mad money from because they invested in Bitcoin years before. And I remember I was supposed to research Bitcoin back in like 2014, right,
Mhm.
2015. And I would at least put like a couple $100 in there. And by the time the boom hit, I would at least made close to 100K. And this is when I quit my job. I was dead broke. And I knew at least I would have had that money to survive off. But not having that money actually made me work harder and actually want to strive more. So it's things like that that I look at. I feel like a lot of things, a lot of things happen for a reason sometimes. Like I got in a car accident back in September, and I'm kind of still rehabbing from that car accident, but it's allowing me to take a break because I've like been working so hard nonstop behind the scenes. I've been stressed out, a lot of anxiety, and this is the first time where I'm like, okay, so now I have to take it easy now. I feel like a lot more relaxed, and I think it was a needed kind of, in a sense, break from before.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about
Mhm.
your car accident, and thank you for sharing that. I'm
Yeah,
definitely glad you're okay. And I
yeah.
agree. I feel like if you don't listen to life, life is gonna be all right. You don't want to listen. Okay, I'm gonna make sure
Hmm.
you listen and
They're
then
gonna
show
make
you
you
things like,
exactly.
all right, relax, life. Okay, I heard you
Yeah.
telling me to relax. Okay, I'm gonna relax. So we heard that you received a deal with HBO Max to create a series, and congratulations, that's amazing. So how did you feel when you like received that news?
um, it didn't really hit me until like a week later, right?
Really?
Because I remember like pitching. I remember like HBO Max saying they want the project. It's called like buying in the room where they bought it like literally in the pitch. And it was intense. Like it didn't really hit me until like a week later. I was like, oh snap! Like I stole the cartoon. Honestly, it didn't really hit me till months later. It wasn't until HBO Max announced, well, HBO Max and Warner Media, they announced what back in February of last year that officially my cartoon was in development. And I remember just like seeing all the news articles, seeing all the social media posts, people hitting me up. And then I think I went on Twitter and some account like tweeted out like all these animation projects. I think like the 10 animation projects that HBO Max was greenlighting and developing. And I ended up seeing my cartoon Obi. It was like number 4 on the list. It wasn't like which one's more important. It just happened to be number 4. And I remember looking at this and I started crying. It finally hit me like months later. I just started crying and weeping. I was like, yo, I finally did it. Like I'm one step closer to actually getting a cartoon on TV. And then like as soon as I started crying, like literally like 2 minutes later, my co-creator hit me up. He was like, hey, you gonna jump on a Zoom meeting or what? And completely forgot a Zoom meeting. So like I'm on a Zoom meeting like wiping tears, eyes are red, like snot in my nose. I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I was just tearing up
Oh
and
my God, that's
yeah.
hilarious. So what is the impact you want this series to have on people?
I really want people to one see that we can have a animated show, especially an adult animated show that stars black people, millennials, and showing that we're doing regular day stuff, right? We're literally just getting through society like any other culture, any other race. I think when it comes to black, I would say black television shows or black films in general, like it usually has to be surrounded by some kind of black trauma, where they begin were slaves or being oppressed or getting shot by the cops. And we're tired of seeing that. Like sometimes we just want to enjoy life. And I want to show like in this cartoon, you can do that. And anybody can watch this cartoon, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, and you can just be like, yo, we relate to these black characters the same way that black people can relate to watching Family Guy and the jokes that they throw in there. So that's pretty much it. A relatable show with that just stars black millennials.
I agree. Like I feel the same way. I remember me and my friends were talking like, no, like we're tired of seeing trauma. Like I want
Yeah.
us to have, like baby drama. Like, oh my God, like, her
Hmm.
friend made her mad. She's upset, like, oh girl, like what is she about to do? Like, like we're
Yeah.
tired of seeing the constant trauma or like the remaking slave movies or like
Yeah.
in police brutality. I mean, it's yeah, we're over it.
Like we have other things to deal with. We have bills, we have relationships, we have religion we got to get through, right? We have baby showers. There's all kind of stuff that we go through outside of us being harassed all day and feeling like we're the lowest common denominator in the world. Like we have more to bring to the table. We're dealing with more stuff outside of that.
So what is one of the biggest challenges you experienced personally and professionally, and what did you learn from that experience? I feel like we kind of talked about this earlier, but if there's something else that you wanted to share.
The biggest challenge, I would say, I faced a lot of challenges, especially learning how the entertainment business works. That's I thought things happen a lot faster, but it doesn't. It takes a long time to get things like developed and greenlit and goes to so many channels. But that's more on a professional level. I would say I really learned that it's important to take care of your health physically and mentally. Um, Especially mentally. Like you do need to take these breaks. You do need to like chill out, relax. There's been a few times where like I've had anxiety or stress. And I didn't realize I had stress. There's been times where I've been working and like I felt like I was gonna pass out. And you wouldn't think that like as an artist, like, oh, you think you like the person drawing all day, they're just sitting down, that it wouldn't hit them in that way, right? In that manner where they're about to collapse. And had to realize those things. Realize when I'm working on projects for hours and hours and hours on end, I do need to take a break. Like I worked on projects so long, my back's been hurting, my wrists have hurt, neck have hurt. And it's just knowing that that's really, really important for short term and long term.
I agree 100%. You got
Yeah.
to take care of your mental. What is
Hmm.
something that people don't really know about you?
Damn, I'm pretty much an open book. I would say that I love John Mayer music, but I think people are now realizing that more and more because I voiced that opinion a lot on social media. How
Mhm.
much I love John Mayer's music. Um, I don't know how many people know that if I wasn't, if I didn't pursue my dreams of being an artist, I would pursue my dreams of being a rapper,
A
I
rapper.
guess. And the thing, oh, no, a lot of people don't know that I can rap. Like I'm not, it's not where, you know, somebody raps in their SoundCloud and they're like, oh, don't do that again. But like I tell friends I can rap and they're like, whatever. And then I'll spit a verse and they'll be like, oh, snap, like you're serious, like you really can rap. So
So you
I
feel
think
like
that's the
it's
biggest thing.
worth?
I can't spit a verse right now, but I don't know if y'all ready for that fire right now. I don't think so.
It's okay. It's 9 in the morning. We already have you on,
Yeah.
so we're
Mhm.
not gonna push it. But next time, I'm definitely gonna ask you to spit a
Yes,
verse.
sir. You're gonna be like, drop your mixtape. Drop it. Yeah.
All right. So at NC, we love to celebrate and empower creatives. Who is someone that you would like to shout out?
Artist wise, I always talk about this guy. His name on Instagram, he goes by Mailmate Dukes. I just
Mhm.
love his artwork. I think he's fantastic. He's incredible. I would say when it comes to creatives in general for entertainment, got to go with Supreme Dream, Mark Phillips and his crew. I think they're really, really funny in the RCD world. I think they're great. They're really, really funny. No matter what, they're always going to be together in what they do. They're not like one person shines and that's it. It's like they always bring everyone else with them, especially Mark Phillips. I love that about him. I love Issa. I think Issa's super inspirational, insecure, and um, the awkward black girl and everything else she's doing. It's just seeing how people have galvanized around everything she's done, and it's really really inspiring. And also, I think Childish Gambino, his work is inspiring. Michaela Cole, I think her stuff is. I think she's a genius. Watching I May Destroy You just really made me want to up my game up when it comes to things that I'm creating.
Those are some inspiring people, especially Issa Rae, Childish Gambino. Like, I love like their
Mhm.
work. So
Yeah,
I know that creating content isn't the easiest thing to do. So how do you stay motivated and inspired to create more?
it's it's weird because you would think that me being inside and focusing helps me a lot more when it comes to creating content, but really I need to be outside. So I didn't realize that until the pandemic hit and we're like all on lockdown on the inside, had to stay in, that I was lethargic. I couldn't really come up with really creative ideas. And then once I started going back out again, I started getting that, that momentum, that energy. And I realized that being outside is what drives me to create more stuff. Um, so that's the best way for me to create stuff. So even now, where I realize like, hey, I need to get out, I need to go out, even though I don't feel like going to an event or like going out to a restaurant or walking somewhere. I know I have to in order to create more stuff. And then also it helps take your mind off whatever you're creating. It refreshes your brain, it relaxes your brain, and then those ideas really start forming. All those questions you need answers for, they end up coming when you're not thinking about it anymore.
Have there been any shows or movies or songs that you would say definitely like played a role in helping you create content?
For sure, like I'm a big fan of Seth MacFarlane, so Family Guy is definitely a big influence on me. I love stand-up comedy, so I just love the way the guys like just seeing their timing when it comes to jokes, the creativity when it comes to jokes. Watching shows like 30 Rock, New Girl. I love New Girl. I just love how their character development, so I take pieces from there. And then music-wise, very interesting. Like Drake. Drake has a line in one of his songs. I'm gonna paraphrase. I hope I don't butcher it. He says, "While my friends are at the club partying, I'm in the studio making the music that they party to." And that's always resonated with me. And that's something that I keep in my head every day. I'm constantly remembering that line and remembering like me not going out and going to certain functions is because I'm doing something bigger for the masses.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, should I go out? And it's like, nah,
Yeah,
I gotta get this done. I gotta stay in the house.
exactly.
I
hmm
feel that. My last question is, what advice would you give to aspiring creatives? Like, what would you tell them?
I would say one, study, practice. I think a lot of creatives they see something, they think like they're going to emulate it without actually studying. Like read books, like literally read books, do tutorials, do all this stuff. Start getting the basics, start getting the fundamentals, start learning more about your craft before you do it. It's more than just being creative. You actually have to know the fundamentals and know what you're getting into. And then also creative literally is being creative, right? I try not to do something I've seen someone else do. And if I do, how can I make it different? So definitely, I'm not a big emulator. I know I see like a lot of like TikToks and Reels where I see people, they create something else that somebody already did because they want the same like views or likes. But it's like, yo, how can you be the pioneer? How can you be the person that created something that people want to copy?
Yeah, no, I used to think like, oh, they just copied it, it's no big deal. And I remember I read this thread on Twitter where someone just basically broke down like the hours they put in, like basically like
hmm
the behind the scenes. And I was like, okay, I get it, because like no way you just spent 15 plus hours, like you've been studying, like you've been redoing
hmm
it, and then now someone just does it again and blows up and they're like, oh, I
And
just
blows up.
like what's the like, and I'm like, okay, no, that's messed up. I get it.
There's a comedian I follow. His name is Carlos Miller.
I know
Um,
exactly who you're talking
yeah,
about. He's so
exactly.
funny. But people
Yeah,
are always stealing his content from him. It's
always.
insane. Like,
And he made a comment on that. He said, "Wow, it's crazy how he did some stand up material, and then somebody just took the audio from his stand up and made a video out of it, and that video blew up." And he was like, "How is this legal?" Because like he put in all this work for somebody to take all the work he did, do something within what maybe an hour, and blow up from it.
no, definitely. I mean, I always see his tweets all the time where someone will at him with the video, like, look how cool is this? He'll be like, would have been cooler if you had your own idea, but yeah,
Exactly.
okay. And I
Yeah.
love how honest he is about it, because he's like, it's not that cool, like, because like sometimes people don't even know it came from him because of how much like it's been redone. Everyone's like, oh, he's the guy, and it's like, yeah, he's the guy,
Yeah.
behind the plan. So
I've seen the same thing with animation where somebody will create some kind of joke, whether it's a joke that's live action or whatever it is, and then some animator will create the cartoon version of it, right? Just creating an animation doing the same thing. And then next thing you know, I start seeing five other animators doing the same joke just in their art style with their original characters. To the point in my head, I'm like, where's the originality in this?
I feel like we've taken
hmm
that away, and we've kind of like normalized, like, it's just like, we're just doing it again. It's like, no, because I mean, it does, like, for the creative, I know that can be frustrating, and that's just like tiring. And then also, like, some people are like, well, I don't need to tag the person, it's my work. At least tag me, like,
At
if you
least,
taking my
yeah.
whole idea and putting a little bit of spice in it, like, at least put my ad, like, do something.
Exactly. For music, right, this new generation, like the new generation of music is all about the rappers. I'm gonna say the male rappers, the female rappers are just killing it, right? But the male rappers, they sing that as long as you sing and rap, people will listen to it. So everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's taking the future cadence and just singing now. Everybody just wants to literally do the same kind of style. And that's why T-Pain blew up. I don't know if you've seen that video of T-Pain. He was like, all these artists keep hitting him up saying they want to work with him. And T-Pain is like, do something different. Do something different. It's a hilarious video, but I didn't do any justice. But it's a great video to watch T-Pain showing his frustration with even music artists not even trying to be original anymore.
No, I definitely get it. And I also did lie because I said that was my last question, but I do have one last question.
It's all good. Let's keep going. Yeah.
So what plans and projects do you have coming up and how can we support you?
Right now I have my Obi cartoon in development at HBO Max. Fingers crossed it gets greenlit. We're still working on it. I have other projects that I can't speak about. There's a reason why I haven't really been dropping a lot of content on my Instagram page, my Facebook, my Twitter, because I'm just so busy with other projects that I can't even release or talk about. But for sure, there is something that's really cool dropping later on this year that I think people are going to be pretty excited about, pretty hype about when they see it.
Well, that's amazing. Can't wait. So thank you so much, Obi, for being here and sharing your story with us. You definitely have a fam here at NC, and we're excited to continue supporting you and see all the work you put out.
Thank you for allowing me to, tell my story, answer these questions, and tell more about myself.
Of course, keep, doing amazing things, keep inspiring, keep shining, and we just look forward to seeing everything else.
All right, cool. Talk to you later.